What happens when the golden boy of Hollywood falls from grace? Is Brad Pitt a cinematic legend whose charm and talent captured the hearts of millions? Or has he been hiding an ugly truth behind that dazzling smile? From his tumultuous relationship with Angelina Jolie, shocking revelations that have made even his own kids turn away from him, and a rocky career with more flops than successes, the story of Brad Pitt is far more complicated than it seems. Is he still the beloved heartthrob, or have his actions finally caught up with him? The love story between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie captivated the world. Dubbed Brangelina, the couple seemed perfect, powerful, glamorous, philanthropic, but behind the scenes, the relationship was anything but a fairy tale. Brangelina's journey began in 2005, following Brad's high-profile split from Jennifer Aniston. He and Angelina were instantly captivating to fans and media, and together they adopted several children from around the world, creating a picture-perfect, multicultural family. The couple eventually married in 2014 at their stunning estate, Chateau Maraval in France, which included a luxurious vineyard that they co-owned and used to produce popular rosé wine. But in 2016, everything unraveled when Angelina filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Things got messy quickly. The initial shock came when reports surfaced that Brad had been investigated for child abuse after an alleged incident on a private jet. The accusations suggested that he had lost his temper during a disagreement with Maddox, their eldest son, reportedly stepping in to defend Angelina. Details were sparse, but the investigation by the FBI and Department of Children and Family Services led to a significant amount of speculation. Brad was later cleared of any wrongdoing, but the damage to his reputation was already done. The divorce proceedings were the start of a long, complicated battle. Angelina made it clear that she was determined to protect her children. In 2017, she spoke publicly, expressing hope that their family would come out stronger on the other side. But legal wrangling over custody and finances was far from over. While Brad argued that he had supported Angelina financially with a loan of $8 million plus money for bills, she claimed that he failed to provide meaningful support. The back and forth revealed the lengths both parties were willing to go to, and it set the stage for even deeper conflicts. The custody battle over their 6 children, Maddox, Pax, Sahara, Shiloh, and the twins, Vivian and Knox, was particularly tense. By December 2020, a Los Angeles judge ruled that Brad would have joint custody, a decision that was hailed as a victory for him, signaling that he would spend more time with his children. But the small step forward was immediately overshadowed by more disputes. For example, the ongoing battle over their shared French estate, Chateau Maraval, added another layer of tension. In 2022, Brad filed a lawsuit claiming that Angelina had sold her stake in the winery to a Russian oligarch-controlled company without his knowledge, breaching their agreement not to sell without mutual consent. Brad argued that he had been the driving force behind the vineyard's success, turning it into a multi-million-dollar business while Jolie had not contributed to its development. Angelina, on the other hand, denied these claims, and her legal team described the situation as Brad acting out of spite and doing a money grab. The dispute was nicknamed the War of the Rosés and was marked by accusations and counterclaims, including that Pitt had spent company assets on vanity projects like pool renovations and a recording studio, rather than focusing on the vineyard itself. While Brad's team pointed out that he had built up the business, Angelina's team claimed that he had more invested in Hollywood projects and personal luxuries than in Maraval. Things went even further when media outlets reported on resurfaced statements from Pax, their son, who had become somewhat of a wild card in the unfolding drama. In 2020, on Father's Day, Pax took to Instagram to vent frustrations about Brad, calling him a world-class a-hole and accusing him of failing to show empathy towards his children, even implying they were scared in his presence. This private post was a raw glimpse into the family's struggles, revealing just how deeply the breakup had affected the children. Amid the custody battles and property disputes, both Brad and Angelina were represented by high-powered lawyers who ensured that every move was carefully calculated. Brad's legal representation included Anne C. Kiley, who has even addressed the private jet incident in the media, stating that Brad had taken responsibilities for his actions from day one, unlike the other side. Angelina had initially used Laura Wacer, but later switched to Samantha Blay DeJean, who had more experience in matters concerning the protection of children. The tension between the two sides extended to the legal teams as well, with accusations of bad faith and aggressive tactics. Jolie's team even attempted to subpoena Pitt at the 2022 SAG Awards, creating even more drama around a situation already bursting at the seams. The fight wasn't just about who was wrong or right, it was about control, money, and the well-being of the kids involved. While both Brad and Angelina were publicly committed to doing what was best for their children, their actions suggested otherwise. For instance, reports indicated that neither Pitt nor Jolie had returned to Chateau Maraval since 2016, which hinted that the once beautiful setting was now just another symbol of their fractured relationship. Despite these revelations, many fans continued to support Brad even as Angelina appeared to bear the brunt of public criticism. Was this unwavering loyalty a testament to his charm, or did it point to a deeper issue with how society perceives powerful men? Before Brad Pitt became a household name, he was just another struggling actor in Los Angeles. Born in Shawnee, Oklahoma in 1963 and raised in Springfield, Missouri, Pitt was your typical American kid, sports-loving, full of energy, and with a knack for adventure. But while he was getting through college at the University of Missouri, studying journalism and advertising, Pitt felt a pull towards something bigger. The bright lights of Hollywood called, and he was ready to chase them down. In an audacious move that would change his life, Pitt dropped out of college just 2 weeks before graduation, deciding to take his shot at stardom. It was a gamble, but one that he believed was worth every risk. Arriving in Los Angeles, Pitt was in for a reality check. Hollywood wasn't just the glamorous playground he'd imagined, it was tough, cutthroat, and full of hopefuls just like him, dreaming of their big break. To make ends meet, Pitt took on jobs that were as bizarre as they were humbling. It's hard to picture a young Brad Pitt dressed as a giant chicken, waving signs to promote a fast food chain, or chauffeuring strippers around town, trying to pay the rent and keep his head above water. And then there was the time he delivered refrigerators. Yes, heavy, clunky refrigerators to people's homes. While it wasn't exactly the red carpet life he had envisioned, these jobs were crucial. They kept him afloat and fueled his determination to make it in Hollywood. But it wasn't long before Pitt began catching the eyes of casting directors. In the late 1980s, he started picking up small roles in TV shows. He showed up in episodes of Dallas and 21 Jump Street, where young Johnny Depp was making waves. These were minor gigs, but they were stepping stones, and Pitt's natural charisma was hard to miss. His good looks and effortless charm helped him stand out in a sea of aspiring actors, but it was his talent that really set him apart. Then came Thelma and Louise in 1991, and that's when the world started to pay attention. In Thelma and Louise, Pitt played J.D., the rugged, handsome drifter who captured Thelma's heart and became a key part of the movie's twisty narrative. It was a supporting role, but it was also the moment audience got a taste of Pitt's magnetic screen presence. He wasn't just a pretty face. There was something deeper there, an undeniable charisma that made him unforgettable. After that, it felt like the floodgates had opened and roles just started pouring in. Pitt quickly rose to fame with a series of movies that showed he was more than just a heartthrob. He took on roles that were adventurous and heart-wrenching, like the troubled but passionate Paul McLean in A River Runs Through It in 1992 and the tragic Tristan Ludlow in Legends of the Fall. He was a leading man, but not the kind who just coasted on his good looks. He was putting in the work and proving he could carry a film. Then there was Interview with the Vampire in 1994, where he shared the screen with Tom Cruise in a tale of bloodsuckers, immortality, and existential drama. Playing Lewis, the brooding vampire struggling with his own humanity, Pitt was no longer just the pretty boy. He was a serious actor ready to tackle anything. But Pitt wasn't done proving himself. He wasn't about to get stuck in one type of role. So he sought out more daring parts, and that's when he got into Seven in 1995, a crime thriller directed by David Fincher that changed the game. Pitt played Detective Mills, a young cop caught in the twisted mind games of a serial killer. The film's dark, gritty atmosphere was perfect for Pitt to show off his range. His performance was intense, filled with emotions, and had viewers on the edge of their seats. It was proof that Pitt could not only handle action and drama, but could also dig deep into a character's psyche and bring them to life in an unforgettable way. Later in 1995, Pitt took on another standout role in 12 Monkeys, a mind-bending film directed by Terry Gilliam. He played Jeffrey Goins, an eccentric, unpredictable activist. It was a performance that was all over the place in the best way possible. Crazy, passionate, and somehow deeply compelling. It earned his first Academy Award nomination, cementing him as not just a leading man, but a serious actor with real chops. From the early days of his hustle in Hollywood to becoming one of the most respected actors of his generation, Brad Pitt's journey was full of ups and downs. But one thing was clear: he was more than just a pretty face. He was the guy who could grab your attention with a smile and keep it with raw emotional performances that left you wanting more. As the 1990s rolled on, Brad Pitt continued to find roles that showcased his range, but it was Fight Club in 1999 that cemented his status as a cultural icon. Directed once again by David Fincher, Fight Club was more than a movie, it was a statement. Pitt played Tyler Durden, a charismatic, rebellious figure who embodied the frustration and alienation felt by a generation of young men dissatisfied with consumerism and societal expectations. Tyler Durden's famous quote, "The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club," became instantly iconic, reinforcing Pitt's status as an actor who could not only captivate audiences, but also change the way they think. Pitt found the sweet spot between being versatile and maintaining broad appeal. He moved seamlessly between serious, award-worthy roles and more accessible humor ones, displaying a rare adaptability. Films like Babel in 2006 and Burn After Reading in 2008 were proof of Pitt's range. Whether it was playing the charming yet dangerous Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 in 2001 and its sequels, showing off his charisma while being part of an ensemble cast, or immersing himself in the deeply introspective work of The Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons in 2008, Pitt proved he could be both a leading man and a transformative actor. Pitt's career was never one-dimensional. He continued to evolve with the times, adapting to different genres and characters. His ability to do this without losing the essence of who he was as a male actor made him stand out from his peers. Brad Pitt's career has had its shares of ups and downs, just like any other star who spent decades in the industry. While he's undeniably left a mark on Hollywood, some critics argue that his journey has included questionable moves that have put his reputation to the test. One area of concern is how he's approached his production company, Plan B Entertainment. Sure, it's impressive that Plan B has been behind Oscar-winning hits like 12 Years a Slave in 2013 and Moonlight in 2016. These films aren't just popular, they're cinematic masterpieces that tell powerful stories about race, struggle, and resilience. But some naysayers suggest that Brad's involvement might not be purely passion-driven. They think that he might use these projects more as a way to solidify his status as a thoughtful, socially conscious actor than for any genuine love of storytelling. Did he become involved in these meaningful projects out of a deep commitment to the arts, or was it more of a strategic move to keep his image as a responsible, woke star intact? It's hard to say, but when an actor like Brad Pitt invests in projects that earn him accolades and respect, it can raise some questions about the balance between artistry and ambition. And let's not forget about his endorsement deals, which have been a big part of his income over the years. Brad's high-profile partnership with Chanel, for instance, has raised a few eyebrows. He's always had that effortlessly cool, rugged, handsome vibe, so it's no shock that luxury brands want him as their poster boy. But does this kind of partnership speak to Brad's true artistic spirit, or is it more about feeding his bank account? It's a tough line to walk when you're a global icon. How do you stay true to your creative roots while cashing in on your celebrity? Then there's the reality that the biggest stars aren't immune to flops. Brad Pitt, for all of his talent and charisma, has had his share of movies that just didn't hit the mark. Films like Allied in 2016, War Machine 2017, and Ad Astra in 2019 were met with lukewarm responses, both critics and audiences alike. Sure, Brad's performance often drew praise for his dedication and range, but that doesn't mean the public was flocking to theaters. With these underwhelming box office numbers, whispers began to spread. Was Brad losing his touch? Had his golden era ended? Or was it just a phase in a career that's seen more than its fair share of highs and lows? Is his reign as America's heartthrob and acclaimed actor nearing its end? Sure, he's had his fair share of scandals and some missteps in recent years, from the fallout of his divorce to allegations and personal revelations that have painted him in a less than ideal light. But despite all that, there's still something about Brad that fans can't let go of. His Oscar win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019 reminded everyone that when he's on his game, he's still one of the best. The win wasn't just a nod to his talent, it was a reminder that no matter what happened in his personal life, he still has the charisma and skill that made us fall in love with him in the first place. As time passes, people will debate whether Brad Pitt's legacy will endure or fall apart under the weight of his controversies. But let's be honest, this actor's story is far from over. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Brad Pitt is truly a talented actor, or has his looks been pulling the weight all of these years? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.